a one with them gal favorite. You know the thing come down already. From the UPK in I building, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor. She know want me no friend of mine. She want skin out on the bed of mine. She have good brain plus a better mind. Me say who for body that she say yes a mine. She come brace the Beretta 9. Me make she come we ahead of time. She get good day plus a better night. Me say who for body that never mind. We not fit cap. But blood clot killers go ask me cap. Thing I attack me pass me counselor. General ya and a me done you don't figure. This them man they get spread out for that. Hey boy cross the line no all idiot. Make some bumbo clock gunshot let off in ya. The truth never change no care much time elapse. To work up routine with dark we not relax. Me general set it in and it a grow. Some fool never loyal. Them never true to the thing and it a show. Me know a couple things for sure. A bag of gal but never touch her out. Which church boy can make you touch a dog? She want gunman down in a she Hey, she know want be no friend of mine. She want skin out on the better mind. She have good brain plus a better mind. Me say who for body that she say yes a mine. She want real killer, the one west nigga. Violate the Akia man, squeeze sugar. She don't want no house nigga. She want a field nigga. She want a steel figure. Real killer. Boy, watch your mouth when they talk. I'm minded the angel of boarding craft. Them fool, they no firm, them soft. One west never bow to no holding calf. Chain pa me neck does a spark when me pass. Them think is a rolling calf. Boy run up, man, fool him clad. Jump, get up, run like hold him fast, pass over. Me nah jump, but still me nah sober. The rum pack a punch and sting just like cobra. At 3,000 years we cross over. Most type power not bumbo clad obia. Me take a oath too late to start over. I'm a damn Shabbat one UPK soldier. Me take a oath too late to start over. I'm a damn Shabbat. She no want me no friend of mine. She want skin out on the better mind. She have good brain plus a better mind. Me say who for body that she say yes a mine. She come brace the Beretta 9. Me make she come way ahead of time. She get good days, better night. Me say who for body that never mind. Yeah, man, you know the thing. Hey, Shalom, Cap. Go on. You hear me, Cap?
Yeah, man. Yeah, loud and clear.
Most
you hear me?
Yeah, man. Loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Yeah, what we have for them tonight? I know we have something. You know what I mean? Something good for them tonight. You know what I mean?
I understand. As Salakia, sir, as we just established a while ago, this year is an election year, and it seems like, you know what I mean, all the rumblings have begun. And in 200 guns have been, quote unquote, intercepted. So I will touch upon that, sir.
Yeah, man.
Gone, sir. And we also have some, you know what I mean, Hamite expressing himself. You know what I mean, how he really feels about if his football side, which is Nigeria, ever should lose to Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To him, it's, you know what I mean, disgusting. You would never want to, he would rather not go to the World Cup, he says, than lose to Jamaica.
But he better get ready. You know what I mean? You better get ready. You don't bet against Israelites.
Right.
You know what I mean? The fastest man on earth was from Jamaica.
That's right.
I mean, what Nigeria have? I think they call them the flying.
Flies, yeah. God want God. God want God, sir. Yeah, man. And you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, let me give them the intro. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So, like, yeah, sir. All right. So, this is the Breakdown Podcast, you know what I mean? Where we break down the strongholds holding back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, Trinidad, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America. You understand? Strongholds such as, you know what I mean, politics. You know what I mean? We loving these other nations is another stronghold. You know what I mean? So we come to break down all those strongholds. You know what I mean? Every Friday night at 9:30. You understand? Hosted
That's
by
it.
Captain 13,000. You know what I mean? Captain Nayatak. You know what I mean? And myself, Officer Kayadwan. You know what I mean?
That's
So with that, let's get straight into it, sir.
Yeah, man. Let me get into it. Let me get into this. You know what I mean? These news, you know what I mean? These news that, yeah, I mean, that hitting our desks. You know what I mean? And nobody talking about it. You know what I mean? So let's get on that. No major station talking about it. You know what I mean? And seeing what's going on. Why is this happening? There needs to be a big inquisition to how 200, there's 200 guns and over what, 50,000 armor?
Over 200.
And 50,000 in ammunition. Like, what the hell? Who planning to go to war?
Gone. There.
You know what I mean? Like that, like, you know what I mean? Which Jamaican has a boat? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Jamaica already have a military. You know what I mean? So you tell me it's some small militia that trying to build on the island to do what? To kill each other? To unalive each other? You understand? Like this, yeah, this year, you know what I mean? This year is smelling too much like the oppressor has his hand in it. You know what I mean? And using,
right.
You know what I mean? Using our people to fight against each other. Right? Go to there's a scripture, Christ said it, where he said a kingdom divided will not stand. You understand? We had to get that because, you know what I mean, remember, America done pull, I think was what, 5 million from foreign aid from Jamaica.
Gone.
You know what I mean? And then Andrew was making the Honorable Dr. Andrew Holding was making a speech where he said a statement where he said no, they're gonna have to become more independent. You understand? Well, to become independent, you need some
self-reliant.
Huh? Yes, self-reliant, right? So which means there has to be some type of unity on the island. But when guns started coming, bullets started coming, that ain't unity. That's something else you're trying to push. That sound like crime. You understand?
Right.
That sound like chaos. You know what I mean? And none of your people will gain anything from chaos. Yes, yeah, I mean some of us might make money out of the chaos, but you're gonna do that on the pretext of your brothers. I mean, you're a filthy bastard if you're doing that. And the Lord gonna deal with you for engaging or trying to have your brothers, you know what I mean, go against each other like that on the island. You know what I mean? And some people will say, well, if they ain't get a gun, they will use the machete. You know what I mean? And like if that's you know what I mean, something to argue about. You understand? How about we put the machete down? You understand? Keep it. You know what I mean? Don't throw it away. Keep it. But let's focus on how we can come together. Let's focus on that. There's a ton of focus.
So if I may, sir, you know what I mean? Machetes have always been here. You know what I mean? Machetes, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
has always been here, knives, everything. But until these two political parties farmed by our oppressor came and introduced to the children of Israel in Jamaica, see, a thing called gang warfare. You know what I mean? There was no such problem of us, you know what I mean, turning our machetes against each other. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When these two parties come, it became not us turning machetes, but us turning the guns that was imported, you know what I mean, on each other. You know what I mean? And it is clear that from since then, nothing has changed because these guns are still coming around. These guns are still being, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, brought into the island for one purpose and one purpose alone. That is for us to analyze each other.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And like what you brought out time and time again, Captain Nayata. See, Jamaica don't make guns. You know what I mean? Black people
Yep.
don't make guns. You know what I mean? Our oppressor, the devil the Bible speak of, it is him who make the guns. And somehow his guns,
That's it.
you know what I mean, in the hands of the people who don't make them. You know what I mean? I will turn them on each other.
Yep.
You understand? So that,
No, you're right. You're definitely right. Like it's crazy to think, you know, what I mean, that island, on that island, you you know, what I mean, you fighting gang war. And what are fighting over? Money. That's it. Like the oppressor done showed you how to make your lust over money. You understand?
right.
Like he done showed you it, and you done fell for it. I mean, read this.
Gun. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 25. And it says, and Yahushai knew their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
And everybody knows the saying that Christ meant. Every kingdom divided against itself is going to what?
To desolation.
Read on.
Gun. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Yeah, and that's where the gang war is now, right? The gang war is if you from this city, give me a city in Jamaica.
Kingston.
If you from Kingston, and then give me another one. Maypen. No, you all fighting. You're fighting. But guess what? You're all on the same damn island.
Right.
You're on the same damn island where your kids had to grow up. You know what I mean? And live. Just like you live on the island. So now you don't create, you know what I mean, a cesspool for your kids and them to grow up in. For your nephews and your niece to grow up in. For your mother and your father and them to grow up in. You don't create a cesspool. You understand? So now it's not safe for young kids to go outside and enjoy their life. You understand?
Right.
Because it's a war outside. And that is created by the so-called oppressor. You know, and I'll always find a way to bring it back to him because the guns come from him. I don't care if brothers went and bought it themselves and shipping it down to other brothers. Okay, it came from the oppressor because we don't create guns.
Right.
You understand? But they sure know how to make a situation in which you're gonna need a gun. You understand? To commit a crime. You understand? Like you think Jamaica poor by guess or by this Jamaica just wake up by accident. You think that's wake up, tomorrow morning and Jamaica won't be rich? No, it's designed to be like that. Why? Because you're still in slavery.
That's right.
That whole thing about independence, you don't have independence. If you were in, then America won't be dictating what goes on in the country. Like for example, in 1980s, America dictated who was going to sit as a president. You understand? These countries that over here, they won't be dictating what prison you're going to build, or what school you're going to build, what institution you're not going to build. If you was independent, you understand? Like when you hear something say,
all right, Kappa have some technical difficulties
so
on film.
independent.
So like Cap, your sound went out for like 10 seconds ago. And we are get a small feedback from you as well. Your Cap, I don't know if you can rectify that as well. All right, Cap will be back in a couple, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, in the meanwhile, what I go do till Cap forward back, I will play this tape. You know what I mean? I will play the news broadcast with gun fine. Over 200 guns seized in Jamaica. You know what I mean? 200 guns is a lot of guns. You know what I mean? And like what Cap that bring out earlier, you know what I mean? Or we bring out earlier is that we are in an election year. So, you know what I mean? Major factor. Some people might think that election, gang warfare and feud and violence is a thing of the past. And this is us allegedly saying this. See? We now said this is the actual case. But there's a high possibility, you know what I mean, based upon, you know what I mean, the history of Jamaica. You know what I mean? A one man never shipping them gun. Let me just tell you that straight. See? One individual, because he wants to strap up him ends, never shipping. I don't care how the politicians them want to make it seem like on the news broadcast. A contain a load of gun and a Joe Blow or John Tom from Matches Lane and, you know what I mean, and Tivoli Garden who get a bus to a foreign shipping that. You see what I say? This is a big operation. Cap, you back with us?
Yeah, man. You can hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. No, I not hear the background noise.
You
Only a
hearing
slight
it?
echo, but that it. No, just an echo me I hear, sir. But the echo is too hard. Nah, bother. I hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm gonna see what I can do with this joint here. But hopefully click it. Yeah. You go ahead, you continue.
Got one call. I'm gonna play this tape. In the meanwhile, everybody watching, remember to tap up the screen, share, like, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. This is a breakdown podcast where we break down the strongholds holding back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, Trinidad, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America.
That's right.
All right, hold on. It seems like the audio now going through the stream. 1 second. All right.
Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome. was on spotmedia.com as well as J International in the Cayman Islands.
Up first this evening, confirmation that more than 200 illegal firearms and 40,000 rounds of ammunition were intercepted by the police on Tuesday at the island's ports.
In providing an update at a media briefing, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says no stones will be left unturned to bring those responsible for the shipment to justice.
Anthony Love was at the briefing and filed this report.
After 2 days of counting following a major gun seizure at a warehouse along Industrial Terrace in Kingston, an update from the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, at a post-cabinet press briefing.
The shipment, there were 233 firearms. That is more than a company. That can equip more than a company of soldiers. That going on our streets is designed to create mayhem.
The weapons include 74 rifles, 159 handguns, and more than 50,000 rounds of ammunition. The authorities were tight-lipped about where the shipment was heading, arguing that the investigations are at a delicate stage. For his part, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the seizure is a testament to the improvement in partnerships, scanning technology, and investment. Dr. Holness also issued this warning to those involved.
To our Jamaicans overseas and those who are here collaborating in the importation of illegal weapons. We will find them and we will find you. And I believe that this point must be driven home to all those who are of a criminal intent. We will meet your persistence with our commitment. We will strengthen our intention with even greater investment. We will overcome organized criminal enterprises in Jamaica.
The seizure comes at a time when the country continues to see a decline in murders. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says it's one of the largest shipments in the country's history. He's adamant that the police will not let up.
So far this year, although only 5 months in the year, we are 83% of the total figure for last year. And these are not only by large seizures like this. This is actually police facing people in the communities and disarming gang members in communities. And so the work, these are the manifestation of what is happening by our men and women out there on the street.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
It's luck, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, yeah. You know what come to mind with me too? Matthew 4, I believe. Matthew 4, where Christ, where he was being tempted by the devil. You understand? Like Christ was a man and he tried to teach us certain valuable lessons before, you know what I mean, he had to go up on that cross. Valuable lessons that we learn and what the Christian should fail to teach us. You understand? We fail the black community tremendously in this Christian church. You know what I mean?
Right.
To the point now where we let selfishness and so we want all these nice cars, we want all the nice, everything nice, the big house. And no matter if it means me unaliving a brother, I'm going to do it. You understand? If it means bringing guns in, bringing drugs in, I'm going to do it. Because I need to live that life. You understand? When Christ was trying to teach us a valuable lesson here. You have it?
Yeah,
Matthew 4.
This is
Go ahead.
Book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 1. And it says, Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Right, and this is Christ says, you know, he fasted over 40 days and 40 nights. You understand? Right. And now he being what? Tempted, right? Because you know when you're hungry, you know what fitting to come to you. All manner of visions of things to eat depending on your fast. You understand? You fast for a day, for 24 hours, you are going to be hearing voices telling you not to do this. You understand? Well, Christ was hearing Satan trying to trick him into going against what God laid down. And listen to this. Read.
Gun. Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days, fast and 49, he was afterward hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
You understand? These stones made what?
Made bread.
Why? Why is he tempting him to make the stones into bread? Because he's trying to see what? He's trying to use what?
Christ would appear.
What is he trying to use here? You hearing me?
Yeah, may I hear you, sir. Me that say him that tried to save Christ will obey him or obey the Most High.
That, well, yes, but remember, Satan, right, the tempter, he knows your weakness and he's coming for that. At that point in time, Christ was fasting. So guess what? He needs what? Food. So guess what the tempter come with? Food.
Gone.
And them stones into bread.
Right.
You understand? Into bread. Turn them rocks into bread. You understand?
Gone.
Come on.
Gone. Verse 4. But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone. But
Man shall not what?
Live by bread alone.
Like we fail to realize what Christ trying to teach us here. Christ trying to tell you some days you might just have to go without food if it means your brother is surviving. Some days you might have to do it. Why? Because now you're going to be tempted to do what? To fill your belly. And in that process, you might have to do what? Sell some rocks. You understand? In that process, you might have to, get one of them guns and go rob somebody. You want to live somebody. Why? Because you need a job. You want some food. Trying to eat.
Right.
Right? But Christ is saying what?
Gun. Man shall not live by bread alone.
Like man shouldn't live by bread alone. Like don't let your belly be your brain. You understand? Don't let your greed be your brain. Don't live like that. Christ trying to tell you that. Read on.
Gun, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God.
By that Bible. Live according to that Bible. We're not against you having guns. You can have guns. Just make sure the gun's legal.
Right.
I mean, you want a gun, just make sure your gun legal.
Right.
It's for the law. But now you have you have a shipment of over 200 guns and 40,000 rounds of ammunition. Why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to go around that? Like what's the purpose of that? You understand? Like you don't have to do that, like you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live that type of criminal lifestyle. You don't have to. The oppressor love it when you live like that. The oppressor make money off of your chaos because somebody paid for them guns. Somebody got paid for them. I'm most positive it's an oppressor because ain't no black man making them guns.
Right.
Ain't no factory. You ain't making that in no factory. Right? You don't have that. You don't have a drawers factory on the island. Do you have a drawers factory on the island? Do you have a factory that make toilet paper on that island?
Nah.
Do you tell me the white man say no more toilet paper for Jamaica? We gotta do hand and by the river. You understand? Like we gonna have to start to think that the man next year, his life is worth something. We gotta live like that. Read on.
Gun. Verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. Verse 6.
Mhm.
And said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at
Right.
any time slack.
And this is Satan trying to do what?
Slack,
Because
yes,
you're
sir,
God chosen people. Now you're thinking, huh?
You broke up
You hear
a
me?
couple seconds. Yeah, me I hear you good now, but you broke up a couple seconds into
Okay. I say you Salaki, you think because we God chosen people we can do whatever the hell we want? He can protect us. You think if we're gonna do some evil, you think the Lord gonna protect you? The Lord is not going to protect you. That's why we die in HIV, die in AIDS. We die in we contracting sexually transmitted diseases. Why? Because the Lord is punishing them for the living. He gave us the Bible. The same Bible, myself and Kay are reading on. He gave us that book for a reason.
right.
We have to follow what the Lord tell us to do. Or else, guess what? The oppressor is going to make money off your chaos. He's going to make money off of you unaliving your people. He's going to make money. You understand? He did it to the Native Indians. Why do you think you can't see a Native Indian or tell you an Indian on the island? Because they fought and unalive each other, and then he just came in and cleaned up after. You understand? Right? Any more on that?
Unless you want some more out of this same chapter.
I think skip me to the one where skip me to the last one. The last temptation.
And one can. Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and shewed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Verse 9. And saith unto him,
And that's the devil showing him wealth, riches.
right.
You understand? As him showing them all them nice cars, the big house, the nice Porsche lifestyle, the lifestyle that Vibes Cartel is not going to give up for you right now. He's not. Ask Vibes Cartel about anything political right now, he is not going to answer, brother.
Right.
Because he doesn't see what money buys. He done got a taste of that lifestyle. You understand? And we love to worship men like that. When men like that, you should not worship. You understand? You know what I mean? You shouldn't worship him. You should watch him and learn from his mistakes. Because money is not everything. And you will see that money ain't everything. Let's read on.
Gun. And said, verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
You understand? Meaning what? Now, you are not going to say what's in that Bible. You're not going to say what's in that Bible. You're going to get on your knees and you're going to do what? You're going to worship some other God.
Right.
That's why you're in the Christian church. That's why you're in Rastafarianism. That's why in every religion on the face of the earth. But you're not trying to do what this Bible says to do. You understand? You're not doing what the Bible said to do. Guess what? Then your allegiance is with somebody else, because the Bible also says what? You can't have two masters. You're either going to love one and hate the other. Now, use Vibes Cartel as a good example, because he right now, you know what I mean, he's world boss. You understand? Came out of prison and now, you know what I mean, living a life that we all wish we could. You understand?
Gun.
Now, will he come and tell the children of Jamaica, the people of Jamaica, who they really are? Will he come and give Jamaicans the solution to get out of poverty according to the Bible? Or is he going to try to live like him? Just shut your mouth and go make music and just live. And don't fight for any cause, knowing that your people are being oppressed. You understand? All right? Any more on that?
Right. Gun. Verse 10. Then said Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
Meaning, follow everything in that Bible. Everything God's saying in that Bible. Follow it. You understand? You don't need to be living like no criminal. You don't need to be living like that. You're a prince of the Most High. Yeah, you're poor. You're poor. But damn it, we're the prince of the power, man. The Israel.
Right.
You understand? You want to go to Genesis now?
Gun.
To show them who the Bible says who was going to live by the soul. You understand? We believe in this school, we believe in self-defense. Believe in it. I'm not telling you to give your guns up. Have your guns, but just make sure it's legal. And I have to say,
right,
and I have to repeat it, make sure it's legal. You understand? You know what I mean? And as you were saying, right, you said that the election was right around the corner.
Gun.
Yeah. As I said, this song just like in the 1980s. You know what I mean? And also too, I think earlier on he was reading about about Jamaica speaking out against what the Israeli and America was doing to them people in Palestine. So it's I mean it's I mean it's too coincidental that they're speaking out against what the Israelis doing and what America is backing.
So like, yeah, they actually
Say that one more time.
so like, yeah, it was a vote, like Jamaica vote against Israel, the massacre what Israel.
Yeah, the
Jamaica
genocide.
voted against. Let me read it, sir. It said Jamaica.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it said Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society (JCHS) strongly object to the Jamaican government recent vote against Israel in the September 17, 2024 UN General Assembly resolution, which calls for an end to Israel's so-called unlawful occupation of Palestinian territories. So they voted against, Israel, in that regard, and that could be a contributing factor, like what you said, sir.
Yeah, and plus the election coming up. You know what I mean? Like it's too coincidental that all these guns coming in around this time. Like I have no choice but to, form my opinion on the fact that this already happened in the 80s, where they want to put somebody in power that is going to bend to their will. You know?
Cap, Slakia Cap.
Catch a bottom dollar, they've already been spoken to.
Cap,
And now it's just a matter of sitting back and just watching it played out, watching it being played out in front of your face. You know what I mean? But that's just, that's my opinion on it. But the mere fact that you have 200 guns that was about to get on the streets, that is an alarm for that country. And that amount of bullets. You know what I mean? Like, what was fitting to take place in Jamaica?
Slakia, sir.
Right? So now, hit the Genesis.
Slakia, you hear me, sir? Cap, you hear me?
You there?
Gone, I'm here, but it don't seem like you hear me. Cap, how my sound?
I hear him. I hear you now.
Gone. Just to say that, you know what I mean, you can imagine how many of these guns actually made it to their destination. You know what I mean? How many shipments like those were not intercepted, but actually made it to the address where they're supposed to. You know what I mean? So that is another thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38.
That's for sure. It's for sure right. Because there's a ton of
Cap, there seemed to be a strong delay.
Okay, I'm gonna jump out and come back here.
Yeah, gone. All right, in the meanwhile, remember everybody to stop up the screen, share. Cap will be back in a second. You know what I mean? We're talking about the massive shipment of firearm that, you know what I mean, made its way to Jamaica but was intercepted. You know what I mean? It's very alarming. See, there's a lot of scenarios that can, you know what I mean, can be made concerning what this was. You know what I mean? Of course, that's a large shipment of guns. See? So, and especially that this year's an election year too. You know what I mean?
I'm back.
One concern. So, you know what I mean? Like what Cap bring up, we know as the children of Israel, we must make sure that no matter the gods, we just don't use it on each other. You know what I mean? We don't get these guns. So if you have a firearm, try your best not to get an illegal firearm first. You know what I mean? Learn, you know what I mean? Learn brotherhood amongst each other. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
no care where the oppressor try, we are brotherhood. Whatever plot is,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if it's a plot. You know what I mean? So, we have to just know that we are the prince of the power, we are God's people, and just love each other. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, I mean, and come into the school, man. We're gonna teach you all how to love each other. You know what I mean?
Right,
I never knew K had one. It wasn't for the truth. I would not know K had one.
right,
But because of the truth, I know it. And you know what I mean, I know him, and he knows me, and we brothers. You know what I mean? Never
God,
met before. You understand? The school teaches us brotherhood. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? According to that Bible. You know what I mean? And we live it. And me and K had one could live it, brothers and sisters. You all can live it too, man. But
Right.
definitely can live it too. You know what I mean? Don't let nothing stop you, but don't let pastor, don't let, you know what I mean, this oppressor, you know what I mean, try to dictate how you should serve your Lord. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
God, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 38. And it says, And Esau said unto his father, As though but one blessing, my father,
Right. And now
bless.
for brothers and sisters who listening, Esau is a progenitor of the Caucasian race.
Right,
Right? And I said Caucasian. Why? Because there are different types of Caucasian. I said different types, meaning different
clans.
I don't want to say tribes, but you know what I mean, for you know what I mean, lack of better term, tribes. Like for example, you have Russian, they're Caucasian, right? Ukrainians, Caucasian, good. The Israelis, they're European, they're just Ashkenaz. They call themselves Ashkenaz, right? Or the Khazarians. Then you have the Americans in America, right? They're Caucasians, and Europe on the whole, Caucasians. You understand? Don't let the language, you know what I mean, or the country they're born in, you know what I mean, decipher like what race there is. And according to the Bible, Esau is the progenitor of the Caucasian race. And now you're reading about Esau, Caucasian race. Tell me if this doesn't apply to them. Read on.
God. Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Mhm.
Verse 40, verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Am I what?
And by the sword shalt thou live.
And by the sword, meaning by the guns. You're going to live. How would have got Israel today? Israel was founded in 1947 by using military might. How was America found? By using military might.
Right.
How was Russia? How was all these places found? By using military might. Alexander, father, he started it when the so-called Japhetic people pulled them out that mountain to come and fight in the military. And after that, it was history. Esau went conquering the whole entire earth. And now today, they just divide the earth up. The Spaniards divided the Caribbean up with the French, with the Netherlands, and with America and England. They divided the Caribbean up and parts of the earth up also too. They divided it up.
South America.
Yeah. Yeah, how can I forget our Hispanic brothers? You know, so they divided it up. So now,
Right.
guess what? You living on an island, you think it's free. You're free when you're not free. You understand? You're nuts. You're being oppressed. You're being oppressed so much that the only way in your mind you can live and you can make money, you have to turn into a criminal. How much land there is in Jamaica? But guess what? You don't own the land. You got the Chinese that come and take your land, the other nation that come and take your land.
Right.
Like you have Blue Mountain coffee, the best coffee on the planet freaking earth. But who own it? The Chinese own it. You're being oppressed in Jamaica. And it's by design. These heathens are oppressing us. You know what I mean? Everything you have come from the land. And you're on an island, but you don't have a factory that could sustain itself. Sugar cane grow on your island. Let's take, for example, sugar cane. It grows on the island.
Right.
It's good for the tropics. It grows well in the tropics. And you tell me you don't have a factory to produce sugar from sugar cane? It's a reason why you don't. Slavery time. And it's a reason why you don't have it right now. Because your oppressor tell you can't have it. You have to import your sugar from some other island. Like you're being told. But you're independent. You're free. You're not free.
Right.
Yo, I'm telling you to do, and I'm going to fight for you. You don't need no guns. The Most I need you to fight for him. That's why he go. God, no, your God fight for you. You read the Bible. Did Moses fight for God, or who God fought for Moses? You understand? Who parted the Red Sea? Moses, but who did it? The Lord did it.
Right.
Who watched over the Israelites while it was in the wilderness? I did. He said, so much so that there was eaten until the stuff come through the nose out. You understand? Like the Lord wants to fight for you, but he can't fight for a criminal, for somebody who's sinning.
Right.
You understand? I know your Christian church like to say, the Lord hate the sin, but he love the sinner. No, the Lord hate the sinner and the sin. You understand? And this example I'm going to give you clearly see it. Somebody who's living an LGBTQ lifestyle, you know what the consequences more than likely is HIV. You could see that. But why you can't see, if you are a sinner, the Lord is going to deal with you like he deal with people who would decide to go into that lifestyle. Like we're quick to see our motive in brother eye, but we can't see what's in our eye and start cleaning it up. We're gonna have to start to do it. Right. Or else the oppressor is going to keep on oppressing us. And we're going to be thinking that we had to rob and kill one another to survive, when we do not have to live like that. We don't have to live like animals. We don't have to live like how they live. That's how they live. That's how they went about getting rich, by unaliving each other and stealing and robbing. You don't have to do that. All right? Any more on that?
Can, sir.
Go ahead.
Can. And it shall come to pass, Slakia, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
You there?
Slakia, Captain, here. Yeah, may I hear you now, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right? And that's the blessing that the Lord gave Esau. That's the blessing. And now, just imagine, he running the earth right now. Why is he running the earth? Go to Baruch 4 and 6. And then we'll jump to the we'll pick one of them African stories before we get out.
Can. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
Right, and this is speaking about slavery. You understand? Every nation had a part to play in slavery. Everybody wants to show the Palestinian love today. Oh, they cry because these babies die. They want justice for these babies. But nobody gave us justice for slavery, for what happened to our babies. How much of our babies died on that way coming across the Atlantic? How much of us died trying to make this oppressor rich? You understand? And nobody paid for it. Not one. Instead, slave masters were compensated for losing their slaves.
Right.
They rewarded the slave master, not the slave. That's how bad it is. Right, read on.
Can. But because he moved God to wrath, he were delivered unto the enemies.
Right, you move God to wrath. How do you move the Lord to wrath? By being a sinner, by being a criminal. That's how you move the God to wrath.
Yeah.
Like the oppressor. You want to be a criminal like the oppressor. When he already tell you how to live. Right? That's how you move him to wrath. And when you move God to wrath, he put you in slavery.
Right.
You understand? So now as a nation, you looking and seeing, and you seeing how we living. And it's clear in your sight that the Lord not with you. But he could be with you in that situation. He can't. The Lord don't want no excuses from you. You don't care if you're in poverty. You want to make sure you listen to him no matter what.
Cap, your sound gone out again.
Any more to that?
Just last, sir. That's it. That's it for that.
That's it. Yeah, which one of them African one you want now?
All right.
You want to touch on both of them?
You know what I mean?
You want to touch on both of them? We could.
We done last time.
Well, come on, we could touch on both of them, man.
Both of them.
Go ahead.
All right. So this one is African. You know what I mean? All right. Let me just get the people the backdrop, sir. See? So we have the Unity Cup come up where Jamaica will face Nigeria in the final. And this this Nigerian, is saying that, you know what I mean, it would be so disgraceful for them to lose to Jamaica, right? You would rather not make it to the World Cup than lose to Jamaica. You know what I mean? We're gonna play the tape. In the meanwhile, everybody just tap up the screen, share, like, subscribe.
To Jamaica is worse than Nigeria not qualifying for the World Cup. It is worse. It is worse. I see. Go and check the Jamaican team. They are not as good as the Nigerian team. In fact, it's a disgrace me mentioning Jamaica and Nigeria in the same sentence. When it comes to football pedigree, Nigeria is higher. When it comes to the team right now, Nigeria is better. It's as simple as that. It's like me saying that Spain or Brazil or Argentina are far better than Nigeria. It is facts. Facts are facts. Facts. As simple as that. So you see, it is better not to qualify for the World Cup than to lose to Jamaica for Nigeria. It's as simple as that. Facts are facts.
Well, I'm gonna be a prophet. He gonna lose tomorrow. No, I was just gonna say he gonna lose tomorrow, and he not going to the World Cup. And he
right, most damn.
And then Jamaica, you all better perform tomorrow. You better beat them out.
And Silakia, if I may, sir, what we find interesting is you know,
I am Nigerians.
This DNA.
Huh?
Silakia.
No, go ahead.
Silakia, because of the delay and the chipping out of the audio, sir.
You go ahead.
Is this deal with this African? Silakia, yeah, man. This deal that this Africa have for Jamaica so much so that you would rather not go to the World Cup than lose to Jamaica. And this is very ungrateful of these, especially Nigeria. Ungrateful. Reason being, when it comes to biting somebody's culture, you know what I mean? There's nobody greater than these Africans. Them bite Jamaican culture, you find that them want to say Jamaica is evil enough. See, them have them own vibes cartel. But for a long period of time, dancehall and reggae music was the genre, the main genre in Africa, all these African countries, especially Nigeria. See? And this is what we always tell our people here in Jamaica. See? Not because these heathens love your culture means that they love you. Because even though they love dancehall, even though they love reggae, and him, you know what I mean, them enjoy your music and them make billions off of your music and your culture. Rest assured, you would rather not go to the World Cup and lose to you because in his mind, you're just a little slave. You are neating. You understand? How dare you come and do in a football match, even though you need your culture to even have a culture. See? And Silakia, sir, unless you have some input, would I want to jump to the next video to give this better context. You get what I say? The next video now.
Yeah, man. You go ahead.
Make this more clear. You understand? And every time we come on, you know what I mean, these platforms, you know, I will tell our people that we are not no Africans. We are not these people. You understand? And this is the reason, this is evidence why we are not. You understand? I'll play this. Let me see if I can play it out.
I'm African American. It's straight African. How do you see African Americans?
I see y'all as slaves.
And what makes us slaves?
You hear that, Cap?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
So lucky, sir. See, the man, for those on TikTok who might not hear what the video just said. See, a brother from the United States, our true life brother, interviewer African, he said, I am African American. This is an African, a full-blown African. How do you look at, you know what I mean, Black Americans? It just roll off my tongue. I look at you as slaves. You know what I mean? If you look on we as slaves. So that is the reason why this African, you know, would rather not go to the World Cup than lose to Jamaica. Because losing to Jamaica would be losing to the slaves. How can, you know what I mean? How can we lose to the slaves? Is where I think. Losing to the slaves, all right, and just give you the inside of the mind of an African. See? In the mind of an African, it is, you know what I mean, is a relegation to be less than a Jamaican, less than a Black American. You know what I mean? To lose to a Black American, to lose to a Jamaican, to lose to any brother or sister there in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? Is a relegation to them because guess what going on now? You are the slave. You are better than you. You are like the peasants. You understand?
Yeah.
Losing to you is a shame that they can't live with. You understand? Guess what? Losing to a Jamaican or losing to the Jamaican national side is losing to the slaves, and they would have rather not go to the World Cup than that happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Slack.
No, you're right. You know what I mean? Continue playing it. He go say something else here too.
Gun.
Controls you.
How does it control us? We got NBA, NFL, we running it.
They use you as dancers and entertainers.
But they paying us $100 million plus.
Yeah, but then they own the money.
Yeah.
So the Africans, how y'all see African Americans?
Slack, yes, sir. Did I say something? Go ahead, sir.
No. I just saying, you see what he's saying, like these Africans, like give me that in his undervan so that we can show black people we're not Africans. You know what I mean? And there's a difference. Like this brother is saying he's African American. You know what I mean? When he calling himself by two continents. And the African, you know what I mean? He's trying to play along with the brother to say that we brothers when he know we're not brothers. He know that. If we were brothers, then he wouldn't look at us as being slaves. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wouldn't say, well, you know what I mean, if I don't, because I think he made a statement like if anything was to happen and they had to leave, like he could go back to Africa, but the brother can't. But if he's your brother, then you should be able to take him back to Africa with you. But he knows that there's a difference between African American and an African.
Right.
He knows it, but he is not spelling it out because he know from what's coming out this brother mouth, he does not have the knowledge. You know what I mean? He's still ignorant to the fact that he is not an African. You understand? Come on.
If I may, sir. As the video go on, you see where the African tribe picks up where I say. See?
Yep.
So it start off with true feelings, and then him start call with brothers, even though him still a, you know what I mean, speak negative. And then him go on to say that we are the heroes that are falling. Basically realizing that, you know, with the on camera, this could have go viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is the game where them play. Them play this game. And all right, sir, you know when you're in a group of people and them all keeping a secret, it is hard for you to find out what that secret is about, you know. It is the most difficult thing that, you know, if you're among some people and them all in on something and you are the one that is ignorant, like, it is very difficult for you to find out what they are really hiding, you know. See? And this is the reason why we never hear it from the mouth. We hardly, we ISUPK, we find it. We find them saying it out of their mouth. You know what I mean? But The reason why you never hear them telling you directly that you are not them people is because, like with Psalms 98, am I correct, sir? They are confederate
That's the
against
one.
us. Slack,
I think it's Psalm
96. Psalms 83.
Yeah.
Psalms 83. One can. Them have a conscious, you know what I mean? Them consciously keep you ignorant. You understand? Them consciously play along. You see, like what Cap said, this African play along with the brother. It's almost like a predator play with him prey. You understand? Him a play along. Him just a play along. The brother said, you know what I mean? But we have this and rare, and then the Africans start to go down back now, and I said, well, you know what I mean? We are brothers and rare. Him a play with the brother, him a play along with the brother. But he himself know, said this man we a talk to and him are two complete different race of people.
Yep.
And we need to understand this. Then this has been a well-kept secret. Psalms 83 said they are confederate against us. Then meaning these other nations, they will only keep this a secret because you are the slaves. And why would they know the slaves any wiser? Why would they tell the slave that, oh, by the way, we are responsible for your slave? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
They will keep you ignorant. And like as me said, when you're in a group and they will keep a secret against you, from you, it's very difficult for you to find out. And that's the situation that we are in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slack.
No, you're right. Yeah, so get harm from it.
Can. This is Ham in the Thundervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. And it says, the youngest son of Noah.
Right? So we know that Noah had three sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Right? Read on.
Can. Born probably about 96 years before the flood. And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
And one of the what?
He became the prophet. And one of the 8 persons that lived through the flood.
Yes. One of the 8 persons lived through the flood. Read on.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Now he became the what? The father of the dark races. Now listen to this.
Can. Not the Negroes.
Not the what?
Not the Negroes.
Right, but I thought Negroes had dark skin too, right? But it's saying not the Negroes. Read on.
Right. Can. But the Egyptians.
But the who?
The Egyptians.
African.
Can. Ethiopians.
African.
Libyans.
African.
And Canaanites.
African. You understand? Like Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, which includes those African. You understand? And we ain't Africans, we ain't Ham. We come from Shem.
Right.
You understand? And then it traced it all the way up to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. And he had 12 sons, and they became the progenitor of the race you know as the. And in short, the blacks, the Hispanics, and First Nation people. You understand? All right? You know what I mean? Anything else you want to bring on?
Just to say that, you know what I mean, to our people, you see, we live with the Chinese and we see how they look down on us. You see? They look down on us because what? For the same reason. Because we are the descendants of the slaves. Because they see how this oppressor treat us. Them see that we have been captive of these oppressors. We are not free. We are below them in this kingdom. Them treat us as such. See, the East Indians them come them do the same thing, and all these other nations. What we are said to you is these Africans do the same thing, and the same reason. You understand? And we are not Africans. And the reason why you see me emphasize this sometimes, Cap, is because here in Jamaica, you see, they see the African thing there, it's very, very strong. It's almost as strong as the ganja thing, marijuana.
Yeah, yeah, I know that whole Afro beat, we love it in the Caribbean.
But not just that, because at the precedent where the Rastafari community said, two things them said here in Jamaica. Them said the love of the marijuana and them said the love of the Africans. You understand? So we here in Jamaica, there's this love what we have for Africa that once somebody start tell us, say, yo, we are not Africans, it's like, you know what I mean? Them not hear nothing else we are saying because
like you're disowning any motherland.
Motherland. Answer. See? but more and more we have to show them and put it in them brains. Say, yo, look, listen, man, don't make skin color food, you know. Look closer. Just look. Just take the Rastafari veil off our eye and look. And you will see that we are not Africans. You understand? It's a lot.
You're right. I mean, black people, gonna have to start to wake up and recognize who they are and start to live like, according to our Bible. You know what I mean? And stop living like Americans, stop living like the Africans. You know what I mean?
Right.
So live like we God chosen people. You know what I mean? So with that, we want to do? You wanna
you can close out.
Yeah, man. Finish playing the video though. Finish playing that video because he said some stuff there where they need to hear what the Africans say to show that he knows that we're different from them. Go ahead.
How do Africans see African Americans?
We see y'all honestly as, if you want the truth, we see y'all as our heroes that have given up on themselves.
But I know a lot of Americans that see y'all, they be like African booty scratchers.
It's the persona that the white man has printed on you to dismiss your brother.
Yes, sir. We know we're at the end of the class, but them thing, you know what I mean?
No, go ahead. You
hear what you say a while ago, sir?
Yeah. The persona. That
the white man has put between us. But you just call the man slave. You just say black Americans are slave.
Yeah.
You understand? So as the conversation go on, you see the mind game with this African player.
Yeah.
And that is what them use to get our people over there. You know what I mean? The Rastafari community come over there, invest them livelihood, and then get scam. It's just scammers people. That's all it is. A scam. Make it to an ignorant somebody who, you know what I mean, who's a sheep. Somebody who's a sheep who is
because
not
what he is
this person. Sir.
Yes. No, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to bring the white man down, but at the same time keep himself above us. And that's what he's doing. Because now, if we accept it, no, I ain't the original African, but I'm talking to the original African. So he know how to be African. So guess what? I'm going to look up to him. I know you have a new slave master, a new oppressor, which is the Africans. Because they know you're not them.
And to also add to your point, sir. See? So it's okay when him call we a slave. But when we say you're African booty scratcher, oh, it's the white man who cause you to hate your brothers. You see the mind game, and this is what we face too as well, you know. Whenever we talk about what the Africans them done to us, oh, is the white man turn against your brother and your mind colonized and this and rare. You know what I mean? That's what them do all the while.
When his people was the ones that wronged us up and put us on the boom. You understand? Right? Like he don't want to really give the full history on it. You know what I mean? Because the person he talking to as a saying, he running game on him. You know what I mean? But you can continue to play.
Sir.
You're gonna divide me to conquer me with you.
But you divided us and said we are slaves.
Yeah.
But they got y'all too, ain't it?
No, they don't.
You ain't I'm your brother. I'm lost though.
Because I could say tomorrow, if I'm done with this shit, I could go home. You can't go home. You stay here.
You can't go home. You can't go home. You have to stay here. Being Africa is not your home.
That's it.
Simple as that.
We mean we can't go home. No, I said, what do you mean by you can't go home? If we African, then you should have some space for me, right? We African. Yeah, that's what I say. Play it out. That these Africans don't even, acknowledge the fact that, that you're not an African. They try to play on the fact that the white man, the same trickery the white man use on us is the same trickery they're trying to use on us by saying we're Africans, when he clearly knows that we're not African. You know what I mean? And we are not their heroes. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he doing. Like we the heroes. So you telling me you're looking for an oppressor to go up under? He's just.
If I may, sir.
Come on.
That's what you call BS. See?
Yep.
That's what you call BS. We are who them envy. You know what I mean? When him say hero, it really mean, wow, we wish we could be like them, but we hate them guts. You understand?
That's it.
Yes, them not look upon us as hero, them look upon us as, oh, them better than we. Why them better than we? Them envious. You understand? So that,
that's about it. You know what I mean?
Gun.
So you know what I mean? You could do that, go ahead and do the outro, but we will be back again, next week to give them, some news. Some breakdowns on what's going on here.
Again, this is the Breakdown Podcast, where we break down the strongholds holding back the children of Israel here in Jamaica, Trinidad, Caribbean, North Central, and South America. So, tune in again with us next week. Next week, Friday, we'll have another interesting show. Some more news. We'll break it down concerning the Bible. Everything already. Kind of like, share, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching at. Also, get inside these classes. We are ISU PK Jamaica. Go over our YouTube channel, subscribe. Also, follow our pages on TikTok, Facebook, all social media. Also, follow Command in General Yana YouTube, the real Command in General Yana. Tune into the Black Watch every Monday. Subscribe to ISU PK the RAM. Tune into Captain Niatak as well. Don't need to be long with it, but subscribe to all ISU PK pages. And with that,
that's right. Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
Shalom, sir. Yoshikata.
Clock killers go ask me, cap. I attack me boss, me counselor, general, yeah, and I'm me that. Hey boy, cross the line, no old idiot, make some bumbo clock, gun shot, let off in ya. The truth never change, no care much time elapse. The work I put in, my dog would not relax. Me general set the thing and it a grow. Some fool never loyal, they never true to the thing and it a show. Me know a couple things for sure. I pack a girl but never touch her out. Which church boy can make it touch a dog? She want gunman down in a she Hey, she know want be no friend of mine. She want skin out on the better mind. She have good brain plus a better mind. Me say who for body that she say yes a man. She want a killer, one West nigga violate the Akia man.